Welcome everybody to the channel. Today we will be talking, as my little ticker says, spoilers. There's going to be a spoiler review of our thoughts, but first I want to, because I have a feeling we're going to have a lot more negatives than positives. I was on Perp stream and talking it through helped, but I'm still not quite there. And I'm hoping.
What do you think?
Perp, he always takes the counter argument. He loved it. He's seen it like 3 times.
I've seen it 6 times now. But not because not because I like, or not because I thought it was the greatest movie in the world, but because it was free, and I kept on wanting to go back and see, do I really feel the way I feel about this?
I mean, I'm gonna watch it a couple more times too, because I feel like I need to properly judge, but I do want to get some good news out of the way. So I'm going to go through quickly before we get started, because I think this is important to note. And I think this might be a good sign for why we talk about things could get better. So really quick, there was in Variety, the numbers just came out. Superman had $122 million box office opening. It is the 3rd biggest box opening of the weekend of 2025. So I'm super excited about that. It's the only things that beat it was Lilo and Stitch in the Minecraft movie, which, shocker there. I mean, no matter what, those were always going to win just because of the nature of that. It's Lilo and Stitch, and people are still stupid and go to see those fucking remakes. So, thanks, guys. We're going to get 50 more of those. But it did do 95 million in 78 markets. The global tally is 217 million. Now, here's the thing and the projections that are important. It's very possible, if it keeps trending the way it is, for the movie to make, by the end of its run, if it doesn't drop too dramatically, I'll be keeping an eye on this, and I'll go into week 2. But if it stays on the track that it's currently on, and people are enjoying it from what I see, we'll talk about that. It's looking at like 528 million by the end is what it could reasonably reach with these numbers. Like, that's the high end. The low end is 500 million. But at any rate, the movie cost 410 million because of the reshoots and some other stuff behind the scenes. So they're still looking at about $100 million profit. Now, before we get into
how much did it cost? 400, and how much is the top end of it?
The top end of it is they said, so hold on, I'm going to get the budget right here. I believe last time
I'm looking here. Hold on, I'm looking to see what we're at.
So
right now. The only thing I see is that it's made about 122 million
and 217 million worldwide.
I don't see those numbers out yet.
It's on Box Office Mojo too. So, and
I'm looking right now. I'm looking at right there. I see worldwide now. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you got to refresh it.
I got it.
So this is a really good start, and the budget for this. Hold on.
What did you say the top market was going to make is?
The top end that if it stays on its projection, they say that it could end its run at 528 million.
Then no, it's not going to profit anything if it costs 400 million. By standard thinking, it's got to make 3 times.
No, for DC, they said if it makes 500 million, they'll consider it a success. That's coming from Warner Bros.
That's horrible. That's horrible. Because they tried to put Man of Steel and BVS at $1 billion.
Yeah, I think they got smart about it and lowered their expectations, which is fine. I'm fine with that. So it says the upcoming film will need to make 500 million to break even. So the 500 million actually is the break even, because it was 420 or no. The budget has 363 million, and
Maybe they've gotten smart how they say a movie can break even, because again, if you take into account all the like tax breaks and stuff you could get, it typically is not 3 times. You have to figure out a lot of other stuff. So maybe they're right. But I'm surprised Warner Brothers is going that low, because you know what? Right now, that's an average MCU movie.
But I think that that's fine, because I'm saying let James Gunn cook. He had to come out with just a showing that he could pull the audience in. And obviously he did. Despite what we think.
Whoa. Time out right there. No.
He pulled the American audience in.
Wait, hold on. Let me listen up here.
Uh-oh. He's going to his thinker cap.
Okay. You're telling me if it makes 150 million more than Captain America Brave New World, that is considered a success?
I consider that a vast success.
No, actually, I don't. Because here's the thing. 1, that is a low bar. 2, if you're going to knock something out of the park and if you're going to reboot something, it better be a hell of a lot better than 500 some odd million. I said 500 to 750.
I disagree.
I figured closer to 750.
See, I disagree, because this is the kind of thinking that makes people overshoot and say something's a flop, when statistically and number-wise, that's not the truth. The numbers don't lie.
We don't know that. We don't know that because, again, if you go by what the numbers are supposed to be, then they have to make like freaking 1.2 billion off of this.
No, they have to make 700 million, according to.
Okay, so then how is 500 and something?
500 is the break even.
I don't see. Again, we don't know what the real numbers are, and I'm going to say this right now. 1, and we'll just get started on this right away. This is not how you reboot something. 2, this is not how you take your star or one of your star people in DC and treat them. And 3, 500 to 600 million is not a success for this movie.
I disagree. It's that thinking that's put us in this predicament where everybody in Hollywood and everybody who thinking.
I'm not doing what Warner Brothers did with Man of Steel. I'm not saying a billion. That's what you're doing
right now, because
I am not saying a billion. What I said is when I said 500 to 750, when I thought what it would make, I figured 700 was a good mark for this movie.
700 is the mark for it to be successful.
And that's what I'm saying. And if it's not, if it's not projecting to that,
but Chris,
that's a low mark in my own mind.
It's not the American market, though. Here's the thing. We're losing in the foreign market. That's where they said this movie lost. And you want to know why? That has nothing to do with us. There's a bunch of political bullshit wrapped up in that. So it's having a tough time overseas. And let's be real. I'm not being racist here, but Superman is an American-based movie. It's not going to play well with the crowds. It's not like Jurassic World where it's just dinosaurs. It's not like Lilo and Stitch where it's family-friendly fun. It is truth, justice, in the American way. And right now, people are trying to hear that shit. So it's not playing well in foreign markets. I don't consider that game
so the same way that you're saying to me. No. The same way that you're saying to me.
Captain America.
Wait. The same thing you're saying to me that I am too hard on this is, and you're giving it an excuse.
No, I'm saying the numbers are
giving it an excuse
in the U.S. That means it's playing
well.
Giving
it an excuse, and we'll see. We'll see, because I think this thing's going to tail off quickly.
I think week 2 we have to do like a recap and see where we're at.
That's fine.
Who knows? We might both be wrong.
All right. Well, let's get to this. Let's get to this. How do you want to approach this?
Well, first, I wanted to have this as a positive. At least I want to say under the positives, at least it's tracking well with the audience here. I consider that within itself a win. It's not what we think. It's clearly resonating with people, even people who just go and see it.
Week one. And I'm going to tell you again, I'm going to go back to something I said before. if you put it up, if you're that, again, all of this bullshit that Warner Brothers is putting out, dropping the expectations down to mediocre for most movies that they think are a hit. Put it this way. Jurassic Park World Birth. We've seen 50 million of these damn movies, and it's at already $500 million in week 2.
Yeah, and where was that market? China. It made 300
no.
million in China.
No, here's the thing. So there. Wait. I'm giving you a point here. If we have to say a movie is successful because 1, we're blaming world markets, 2, we're severely lowering our expectations for things, and 3, again, we're giving it way too many excuses. Put the movie up against Jurassic Park World Birth on the 4th of July if you're talking American audiences, and they didn't do that, so they don't believe in this movie enough. That's problem 1. Problem 2 is you're giving it an excuse because you're saying world markets. If it's that good, the United States has put movies over $1 billion alone here.
Yes, Joker did that, but not every movie is.
But that's my point. Is that if that can do it, but if that can do it, then Superman should do it. And I'm not saying to go $1 billion. I'm not saying that because I don't think it was fair for them to say it against Man of Steel. But I'm saying you're giving excuses to a movie that Superman done right should have already been at 300-400 million.
I mean, I will because I'm a DC fan.
I am too. That's why I don't believe in this. It's because I looked at it, I watched it. I'm watching what they're doing. This is not what you're doing. I'm not talking about Marvel. I'm leaving Marvel off the table here because again, now you're talking about. My point is a mediocre. Well, right now, what Marvel considers a success is 500+ million. And now you're saying that a success for a reboot that's supposed to take over and do as well as Marvel is now we're going to start at mediocre and hope for better. No, we don't do that. That's not how you play this game. We'll get into this when we're going to talk about it. I think your positive side there is actually grim and not a positive.
I mean, you say what you want to, but at this point, I will take any win for DC. And for me, this isn't the worst we've seen.
No, you're right. Okay. Well, where do you want to go with that?
Fucking Flash, anything that's come out, this whole CW.
You want to hear something? What did I tell you? I think in some ways the Flash was a much better movie than this. Now,
I highly disagree with that.
I know, but I will rephrase parts of that in a way, but I think it's a much better thought out plot than this was. But
I can tell you it didn't have a $122 million opening. It had a $60 million opening. So we're comparing apples.
Wait, time out. Time out. Colossal failure. What are you talking about? They already told everybody this doesn't matter because this is over. So who cares about it now? Nobody cares because it wasn't going to go anywhere. That timeline, that group of people makes no difference. So why am I going to go spend the $20 on a movie ticket? I'm not. I'll wait for it to come out streaming.
I'm saying this is right now for the DCU. This is a start, as you put it. It's a start. Now, how you want to look at the glass?
Let's talk about
mid start. So
let's talk about
we were supposed to be doing the positives first. So let's get into the positives because we both have more negatives, and I want to kind of do some.
I don't think different. What you just said is a positive. I think that if I'm an investor in Warner Brothers, I watch this movie, and you know what I think? I think, God, this is not good.
I mean, I don't even think
I don't know. I don't know where the bar is, but if 500 to 600 million is your bar, you are dead in the water.
When did we start? Okay, let's hold on a second. I hate this fucking stupid thing that people always say. Why does a movie have to be 500 or 600 million? What happened to the days of a $200 to $300 million movie being
because of cost? I mean, don't get me wrong.
And who inflated that? The companies. So I mean,
yeah, but that's fine. I'm stating something here that how do I want to put this? Let's take the money out of it. If I see a drop off in 3 weeks, it's not a good movie. A good movie has staying power. Sinners stayed in the top 2 for like 5 weeks. If you can't if you can't match that, then I'm sorry. If again, already you're being beat by Jurassic Park World Birth for no reason, and everybody talks shit on that movie, and it's rightfully so because it's never going to change. We think we control dinosaurs. Dinosaurs aren't controlled. Dinosaurs kill people. End of movie. And here's the thing, but people love that. And and I remember, I think it was George Carlin said, when the first one came out, he said, "This guy's a genius. You can make this movie every 2 years, and people will eat it up." And he's right, and it happens, and it's still happening. No matter how shitty they got, even Jurassic Park 3.
Hey, now I would still.
I like Jurassic Park 3. I'm not saying. Yeah. I'm just stating that I think that's the low bar for this group. But what I'm going to say is staying power. If you don't want to go off of money, this movie has to compete, which it's not already doing that because it didn't beat out World Birth or Rebirth or whatever the fuck it's called. It's already failing. Again, and I said this, and I still stand by this. If you believed in this movie, release it on the 4th of July weekend, because what other thing says?
Oh, The View with Drew. Hey, what's up? Good to see you. We're going to be talking spoilers.
What says truth, justice, and the American way rather than July 4th? And
okay, Warner Brothers on the 4th of July thing. Okay, I don't give a flying fuck.
But Warner Brothers gave up on that. Again, you're talking about American audiences. The July 4th is the largest weekend for movies in the United States, and you passed up on that.
I still say it's smart marketing not to cannibalize your 2 fucking franchises. And who owns Jurassic Park? Is that Warner Bros. Or Paramount?
I think it's Universal.
Oh, the bitchy one said it's Universal. Okay. So, yeah, you know what? Okay, fine. I'll give you that. But let's get into fucking positives here.
Universal owns it.
No, it's it. Yeah. So the positives. First thing I want to give this movie is, and I said this to Perp, and maybe we could back this up because no one was getting what I was saying. I like Lex Luthor until the Revolver scene. Then I felt like they scaled his character back, and no one saw what I was talking about. But
what do you mean by that?
Like he doesn't get more evil than when he shoots that dude. But then after that, he's more just yelling and kind of complaining, bit of whining. He doesn't have the same presence he had up until that scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt like they did that little thing and then they pulled it back. Like, oh.
I think that should have been closer to the end. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I think.
But
there wasn't a, like, you know how in some movies, well, especially with Lex, right? It's a slow build till you get to the ultimate plan and he does something really heinous. And then you got to think. It was like they put it too soon.
I will say this. I don't disagree with you. But I think, and I'll get to this later down the line, I think that the whole time rip thing was supposed to be more stakes because he's threatening millions of people, not just one.
I mean, the only really cold line, and I got remembered when I was on the panel last night, was when he says, when the people are in an earthquake, and he goes, they side with Superman, let him die. Like, that was.
But my point is that. I mean, so.
But it's like, it felt like still. And this is my problem I have with all the characters, even though we're going into positives. Well, James Gunn does a character right, it still feels like this hesitance to commit to any one thing except for the weird side characters. And we were talking about this, like, really the thing that sticks with me, and I even said this on Perp Stream, I don't think they nailed Superman. He got his ass beat so many times.
Well, okay, let's go down positives first. Let's just get to the positives.
Yeah, so,
done.
Okay, I'm trying really hard. So, Mr. Terrific.
I think I think you started off with grim and down, but whatever. That's fine.
Mr. Terrific. MVP.
Oh, I love him. I mean, I think he stole the movie.
I honestly think he stole. Okay, so you were asking which you were asking me, and I was trying to try to think of a moment in the movie that stands out. And sadly, it's not Superman scenes. When anybody asks me, I'm going to be like, that part with Mr. Terrific where he saves Lois Lane in the facility, that was fucking awesome. Like, that to me was the highlight of the movie. And that's the issue, but I'm sticking with positives. So let's go to my next one.
Yeah, I mean...
Lois Lane. Excellent. Nailed it. The actress is great. Rachel Brosnahan, she has the charisma without being overbearing. I think that they have good chemistry as far as me believing them being in a relationship. Once again, we didn't get a lot of scenes, but I'm staying positive. But I think her and David Corenswet have a good, I could feel that they're a couple together. David Corenswet as Superman, I think he embodies what the character is supposed to be, but the script lets him down. Like, he's got the Boy Scout thing. He saves a fucking squirrel. He's got that wanting to save everything, despite, he even wanted to save the fucking kaiju.
I don't know I don't know where to start with this movie. I mean, I can't go positives without mentioning negatives at the same time, because here's the problem. Great, he saves a squirrel, but other people, I guarantee you, are dying when he's doing that.
I mean, but to be fair,
why does he give a squirrel? Listen, have you ever tried to hit a squirrel on the street?
Dude, the squirrel was going to be crushed by a kaiju.
My point on this is that squirrels never get squished. Squirrels never get hit by a car. It's going to make it. I'm hating to tell you this. I don't like the fact that it's people. He's supposed to care about the people, the dogs, cats, and all that comes secondary.
I disagree. I think that the point of Superman is he tries to preserve all living things. I
think that's a James Gunn moment that did not belong in this movie.
I mean, I disagree. I think that is the least bit of...
I told you. I walked into this movie 2.5 months ago when I first saw it without seeing it all the way to the end because they did not show us the ending. I told you. I had concerns going into it. And I'm going to tell you right now, all of those concerns still now are triple my concerns in the first time.
I agreed with you. I almost put this on my top 10 worst movies of this year.
You're giving a positive in this movie to him saving a fucking squirrel. That's a positive in a Superman movie.
The writing is going for its subtext.
Great.
I appreciate that.
You know who has a more superhero moment in this movie? It's Mr. Terrific.
Yes.
Other superheroes in this movie. This movie's about other superheroes more than it's about Superman.
I mean, I don't disagree.
How is a Superman movie good if Superman is not the part of this movie?
And I even asked, I asked a full panel, what fight does Superman win exactly? And
he wins in the end. But
I'm
gonna bring that up too.
What fight does he win by himself? He does not win one fight by himself.
That's one of my problems in this movie, and I'll tell you what that is here in a little bit. Again, I can't have a positive without having an everything. Here's the thing.
This is so hard because I want to do just positives. Just give me a fucking positive. I'm trying.
I'm going to give you one right now without talking about the other first, because I have to kind of play off of a positive with my negatives, because with that positive, it's like, yeah, but it comes with this. Corenswet, Hoult, and yeah, but Hoult, that's his last name. Brosnan, or however you say her name, Brosnahan or whatever. Rachel, Skyler, Gisondo, something like that. I think it's
Skyler Gisondo.
And oh hell, who is it? Wendell Pierce plays Perry White.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you right now, the casting picks were great. Even Tessmacher that they gave.
I think you forgot Nathan Fillion. I'm sorry. I think he's perfect for Jay Garrick.
I mean,
perfect. That is the perfect Green Lantern for him to be. The condescending asshole. Yeah. Condescending asshole, but a guy you'd like.
Yes,
and honestly, I love him.
Yes and no. I'm going to give you my problems with that later, but I mean, I agree with the casting. It works. It looks good, but I'm going to give you why I don't think it works either. Not right now. I'll wait. But the casting in this is done pretty damn good. I will give it that. If anything this movie has is if somebody else had written it, it would have been better. I think.
I don't disagree.
If somebody who understood, and people are gonna kill me for this, but people who think that James Gunn knows how to write this, he does not.
Hey Ryan, what's up?
And hey Ryan, here's
the ending is.
I don't want to bring it. I don't want to bring. Again, I'm going to try to stay off of negatives right now.
Yeah, we're going to do the positive. Don't worry, we'll get to the ending because I got a lot to say about that too.
No, I got a lot to say about a lot of stuff.
When we get to the negatives, we got.
Where else do we go
hold on a
with
second. Before we continue, I just want to say I noticed some newer names, so thank you for joining us. We're going to have a nice debate. We're starting with the positives because, unfortunately, if you came here for us kissing James Gunn's ass, this is the wrong channel. I love him. I love all of his films.
I do too.
I think he's I like some of the stuff he's done with the DCU, but this ain't it. I love Creature Commandos. I love his idea for the Green Lanterns. I love the whole Matt Reeves side of things, but we got some issues. Anyway, so what else is a positive? Because come on, we're trying to keep the positivity going.
The look of this movie is great.
Like I said, again, directing, he could
I feel like in this movie,
it was bright, and that's
the
one
look
thing
of it. The look of it is in between. Well, not in between. I'd say it's a step closer to the original Superman than Superman Returns, because Superman Returns kind of has that dark, broody look that Man of Steel had, but not as much. And Superman was really lighthearted, and I won't call it campy, because while there is camp in it, there's plenty of camp in this one. I think, again, the look is right. I'll wait on my negative. Hopefully I remember. But the look is right. I think they got the look. I think Lex Luthor looks great. The fact that they did a lot of practical scenes for this movie. Daily Planet looked great. LexCorp looked great.
Actually shooting practical, you could tell.
The fact that, I don't know, I have a gripe about it, and I don't have a gripe about this. But the non-gripe part of this is the fact we see the Hall of Justice. That was pretty cool, and it looked very good. What you drinking? I am drinking Voodoo Ranger. It's 9.6% alcohol, and it's a beer, and it's good.
He needed some for this. I'm drinking coffee out of my.
This is the third one tonight because and the way you started the stream, excuse me, Mr. Zod, there, but that was horrible, and that kind of, and not you. I give you your right to say what you said about the amount. To me, that pisses me off that's where we're at with Superman. That we have to make up excuses and say that 600 million is good.
I mean,
again, I'm okay at 700 where I thought it was going to hit, but if it goes under 700, then I was being nice saying 500 to 750. I know people said billion. I didn't want to say billion.
For billion. That's where I was at. So don't think I'm not disappointed, but foreign markets, man, there's a tricky thing.
I don't care. Again, foreign markets bullshit. This is Superman. America should be backing this movie up. Again, how many people said, "Oh, Man of Steel sucked because of this or this or this"? This movie treats Superman like nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about. I'm sorry, I have to say that.
I hate to do because, and I just want to get this clear. Anybody watching us, neither of us are Zack Snyder fans. I have had gripes with everything he did, and I think people forget that the vibe when Man of Steel came out.
Liked this film.
Let me finish. But I've had my gripes with Zack Snyder. I loved Man of Steel. I thought BVS, even the Ultimate Cut, sucked because Jesse Eisenberg should be burned for his betrayal of Lex Luthor. And
that's the worst part of that movie.
Yeah, and Justice League was a fucking hot mess.
Well, the original version,
the Snyder Cut is just as long as indulgent. I think that if you look at the credits, and even Chris Knight didn't know, but Christopher Nolan and Greg Berlanti wrote Man of Steel. That's why that movie is so good, and people argue about it because it was written by two people who know Superman very well. And this is the issue that I think
I would love to see Christopher Nolan write this movie. But he didn't. I'll tell you why he wouldn't. Because this one isn't based in reality as much as Man of Steel was.
Yeah,
it's going out there because I know Man of Steel isn't really based in reality, but the feel of it, because he wrote it very much like how he wrote Batman.
Well, Man of Steel has the greatest villain of all time, and WB, where's my R-rated General Zod movie? That would be a fucking hit. I'm just saying. You're taking chances on shit.
It could be the worst movie in the world, and you'd still be going like, oh man, this is great.
Dude, I would see that movie like 8 times. Most of the box office would be me.
It made $450. All of it from
who's General Zod's fan? It was no, but folks. So when we say like, look, another positive, and I'm going to piggyback off what you were talking about, is I like the aesthetics, and I actually like it feels like a comic book. I like that it feels like you're dropped in a Saturday morning cartoon to a point. You get what I mean? Like where it's got that feeling of waking up in the morning, eating cereal, and watching like Justice League Unlimited. But now here's the problem. Even that had Superman. Fuck it. We're just going to get into our negatives so you guys know where we stand, because every positive is attached with a negative, and this is our problem with the film. And folks, you can ask Chris Knight. Chris knows. I came into this. I was arguing with people on X about this, and he's seen like saying, you guys are harping on James Gunn, you need to back off. I don't think it's better than Man of Steel, but you know, to each their own. I'm glad that we do have people like you who did like it, because I do want this movie to succeed, just because I do want them to have another crack at it. Just let someone else write the movie.
Well, this is Warner Brothers. They're going to give them 2 or 3 movies, and by the time that comes out,
if he ain't good by Batman, it's done.
Like I don't think you're gonna. I'm not hopeful at all now. That's the bad thing about this. I'm just not hopeful now.
So let's get into some negatives here. One, the writing of this movie. And unlike most channels, we'll give you specifics here. My issue is, and we've said this a lot, if you guys couldn't tell, with every positive thing that we give this movie, immediately afterward, it is attached to something negative. The fucking dog. I hated the fucking dog. I know this is probably going to be blasphemy. If you guys haven't been on my channel, I'm a huge fan of John Wick. So this has nothing to do with dogs, okay? I fucking love our little champions, but the dog to me cut off a lot of sentimental moments. You had a cool banter with Lex. You had this other emotional moment, and then the dog comes in and does something fucking stupid. And this is really to James Gunn's writing, where I felt like he more so in this movie lost the balance of undercutting the emotional moments with humor. And I know he could do it because Guardians 3 fucking tugged out your heartstrings with the animals. That was so fucking sad. Like, I never
Guardians 3. I'm gonna give you, this is my prime example. What I said, he does not understand singular character movies. Guardians 3, because Guardians of the Galaxy is a group movie.
Lemon Pie.
What's going on, Lemon Pie? It's a group movie. This is not. This should not have been. Oh God. Oh, go. Keep going. When I get a chance
I know
talk,
that's why I'm
going to go a bit.
So my issues with this is, one, I think the writing is really, really, it's patched together. And I know people are going to disagree or whatever, but honestly, do you remember the plot? I don't remember the plot. There was a pocket dimension. And
there's no real plot. There's 70 plots. There's 70 plots. And supposedly at the end, they all group together. And I mean, they do.
They do, but not.
They throw everything at the wall and then say, oh, look, we're going to stick with this one. But that's the only reason why the main plot's there is to keep Superman busy while something really minor that not even Superman would bother with, truthfully. Okay, he would bother with it, but it's something that happens every day, which is a war. Or a takeover. He's concerned with, he's concerned with real planetary problems, which the one that Lex does is a planetary problem. But the whole reason why Lex does it is not to do something dastardly or anything. It's just to keep Superman busy. And that alone, just so he can get a third. Remember this, a third of a country to become king of. That's the real plot in all of this. The pocket dimension and the rip in time, or the rip in the earth, is secondary to a singular thing that he wants, which is a third of a country to be king.
And that's where
that's the main plan. That's the main plan. It's like,
I'm seeing a bunch of new people. Hey, thank you for coming over. We're having a great discussion. No, the real plot is that
is not.
No, that is not.
That is only again, that's underneath everything. It's underneath the third world country. Because what he says, even at the end, is, I wanted the world to hate you because then if I was told by the government to come after you, I could do whatever the fuck I want to keep you over here while I got what I want, which is over here.
Over there,
which was the third of a country to be king of. That is the main plot of this. That is his plan. And yet he's risking millions of people's lives just to bother Superman. And again, Superman, that is like, I don't know, third or fourth main character of this movie.
That's my issue. As you can see, the plotting is a little bit all over the place. And the other thing that really annoyed me in this was there was too much going on and too many people kind of introduced. And I've seen this issue with Marvel as well. And keep in mind, folks, I'm a DC fan, but I'm just going to say, over at DC, we've had issues with them trying to copy the template, and this is the exact same thing with a bunch of things introduced that'll be picked up later in this show or this movie, but we're going to introduce them all into this film. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I agree 100% with Chris Knight. This needed to be just a Superman. What would have been great? What would have been great is a Superman versus Lex. This Lex is awesome. I love Nicholas Hoult. It would have been great. And I think the plan would have been less convoluted, because the plan really is so they can get this one, and then you need all of these people to handle this over here while he handles this over here while he's over here. And so it then makes the main antagonist's plan really super convoluted, because it's like Chris said, all of this for a third. Like, normally Lex plans are, I want to rule the world. I want everything. You are in my way of getting everything. That's the character no matter what version. Like, yes, he has had stupid little plans to annoy Superman here and there, but the general gist is he hates Superman. He wants to kill them, gain power, he thinks he's better. There's a arc where Lex Luthor becomes president. So
I don't know about Ryan. I don't know if they did him dirty in the end. I'm going to tell you right now.
They underutilized him, I would think.
Okay. I'm going to tell you this right now. I would have been okay with the plan and the plot and how it all went if you just take out all the extra characters.
And all of the extra stuff going on. Like, why do we need a war over here? Why is, Lois over here?
That's okay, because...
The fucking Daily Planet. Why did we need 15 of them introduced? Introduce Perry and, what's his name? The guy who always follows them around.
Jimmy Olsen.
Introduce Perry and Jimmy. Yeah, first. But we get introduced to the whole fucking... And it'd work if it was just a Superman movie. But now we got the whole Daily Planet. We got the Justice Gang. We got Superman. We got fucking Ultraman.
If you dropped it down to primarily the same type of stuff they did with the original Superman. Perry White, Lois Lane, Clark Kent, Superman, and Lex. With some sprinkling of, other characters, but not main characters.
And look, this is not to say, look, you a prime example was Marvel did Civil War, and for some strange reason it worked, but it worked because everything was established first. And I think this is the problem WB has always had. This still feels like, and I don't even think I blame James Gunn for this, just hear me out, because there is some documented interference, and I think WB said, hey, we're down with that, but we want you to kick this off now. We want to get shit going now. We've been waiting. Yeah. Because this screams a corporate guy sitting up there going, okay, I like all of these characters, James. I think you got a real good plan. Let's fucking drop them in this. This is our big tentpole movie. And James was probably like,
especially after hearing when Zack Snyder went back to do the Snyder cut of Justice League. They told him specifically, you cannot use any of the main Green Lantern Corps because we're not going to allow you to do it. That tells me right then they already wanted a Green Lantern in this, which makes no sense. Again, let me know when I can talk, because I'm going to talk for a minute about this shit.
So I know Chris is going to do a huge wind up here, folks. So I'm just giving you my thoughts, and then we'll jump to him. But yeah, so we had that, and then my biggest gripe. And I don't care what anybody says. The logistics of this makes no fucking sense. Fucking Supergirl's character is fucking massacred here. On the one hand, it made sense why Crypto did not fucking listen to Clark at all, even though I think traditionally Crypto is Clark's dog. But don't quote me. There's been some versions where he is Supergirl's dog. I've seen a couple of those, a few animated things. So I'm not going to fucking argue logistics. But Supergirl being fucking drunk, and I get, she's like, and I get it. In her character, and even watching Supergirl historically and stuff, she's a bit more emotional, as far as she's more volatile than Clark is what I mean to say. God, if I say emotional, all the women will be like, what are you trying to say? No. Let me rephrase that. She's more volatile than Clark because she remembers her home world more than Clark does. So her assimilation is a little bit different than Clark Kent's assimilation to Earth. So I get the gist of what he was trying to set up, but it's a really fucking bad look. And I'm going to be honest, everybody was like, oh, that scene was so cool. I thought that was the last bit that really chapped my ass leaving the theater. Part? The fucking, the mid-credit, post-credit scene with Supergirl, and when she was all drunk.
That's the end of it. That's not even the mid-credit scene. That was right at the end.
That's the very end. I forgot what the...
Yeah, what are you trying to say about her?
At the moon, and what was the other...
Again, I mean, they're basically making her a moody teenager.
Yeah, it was...
Because it doesn't even make it sound like she is actually old enough to drink. Yes, they did. You gotta let me talk here soon.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I didn't even bring up the origin story yet, but Yeah, I didn't think that was necessarily a bad direction. I'm talking about that this is not about the origin story. What we're saying is the writing is not good. You could say whatever you want to. The writing is sloppy at best. It's disjointed. There's too much going on. I'm saying it needed to be a narrow focus. Not that any of the one elements were bad. I said we have some good, but with the good is attached a moment of bad because there's no balance. Writing needs balance. I'm a writer. I write stuff. I'm actually working on a book right now. And the first thing you're taught about when you write is that you have to have character balance. Like you can have 20 characters, but you need to be able to have each of them have something to do, and it needs to be conducive to your story. If you have a bunch of characters and they're adding nothing to your story, then all you have is bloat, and it's taking up time from developing your main character or your villain or even an important side character that is important to move in the plot. That's what I'm saying. When you have too many things on screen, you're splitting people's focus and they don't know what they're focusing on. There's too much going on, and I'm not the only person to say this. That's just how writing goes. That's like writing 101. That's how I say it. Oh, Chris, I know you're gonna get into a 20 minute.
Dude, you don't even understand it. Oh god.
Exactly. It is a bloated story. It's got too much going on. I mean, this isn't like sorry. Like, look, my name is General Zod. I love DC properties. One of my favorite anti-hero / hero to me is John Constantine. I've been following this since I was a kid, but I'm not stupid and I'm not one of these people who think you got to keep shit the same. If we kept every iteration the same, it would be fucking boring. And quite honestly, I love Man of Steel and I love Superman Returns, even though it isn't the greatest. And I love the old Christopher Reeves. That's not my thing with rebooting. Like, you need to change with the times. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when you're changing, you need to have a good fucking story. You need to have a focused story. If this is your launch, you need to have priorities and where you want to go. And this feels very crowded. It feels very unfocused. It feels very schizophrenic. It's all over the place. And that's the biggest issue. It's not like us saying, oh, they're messing with my thing, or, oh, James Gunn. Like, I'm not siding with Snyder Cult people. They're fucking nuts. I'm not like hardcore. They changed my source material. Because, I mean, yes, Chris, this man loves Last Jedi. I'm saying, or he defends it to this day. Never, he'll die on that hill. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, even with this movie, I still enjoyed it, but these things are issues. And, they need to be addressed. They're big problems that there's just too much going on. So, Chris, I know you got a lot to say. Maybe you can articulate a few of these points that maybe I'm not getting across.
I don't know where to start, but we're gonna go with all right. Let's just start right at the beginning. There was a part of this that people thought, or that I heard that there was a time when they were going to do chapters. So what I saw did not have the beginning. When I first saw this 2.5 some months ago, whatever it was, they did not have the scroll part in it, or at the beginning. They didn't say, 30 years ago this happened, 3 years ago this happened. They didn't go through any of that.
Oh, which I hated too. I hate text scroll. Like,
I hated that. What I did hear, and it wasn't in my test screening, it may have been in other test screenings, was that there was an idea that they were going to do chapters. I might have been okay with chapters, but here's my first problem. That was a horrible way to introduce them. Then by the 15-minute mark, Lex has already gotten into the Fortress of Solitude, which, I'm sorry, that part of it probably feels like a mid-movie scene to me. It's like you give this huge grand thing where he has his two bad guys that he's created that are now metahumans, which, again, too many of the basically every other character in this movie is overpowering and better than Superman, which makes no sense. And I know originally one of the things I heard about early on was this is him still trying to figure out who he is. I'm sorry. He's always Superman. Once he puts the cape and all that on, he's, if not the most powerful DC character, he is one of the most powerful. And Ultraman and the chick that does the, can think of anything and it happens. Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific. None of these people are supposed to be more than Superman, and they are. All of them are in this movie. No, I'm not going to admit that the Portal side world was fantastic. I'm not. I'm going to bring up points to that. That some parts of it, yes, but again, with every good thing, there was a bad thing. It's like, what? Why did we do this? Okay, that's a mid movie scene though. The whole thing where he breaks in and he gets the message. I mean, literally, right from the get-go, this happens. It's like, wait a minute, I don't like where that happens. I live in Kansas City, Missouri. In comic book terms, if you look it up, Kansas City is about 40 minutes from Smallville. Now, Smallville does not really exist, but that's basically
my heart.
Well, but that's basically Lawrence, Kansas. Okay, Lawrence, Kansas is also where Supernatural takes place.
Oh yeah.
So I'm very close to this and Dorothy and all that bullshit, very close to this. I'm sorry. I have a cousin that lives out in the country out there. She is not as hick as his parents are in this. They're literally like stupid idiots. And I'm sorry. I hate to say that. Oh, he's just a lovable dad. Like all the way that they talk and shit. Yeah, you can find that. But not nearly like that. I think they went way hictified in that. Way overboard. Way overboard. Especially, here's the thing. If he grew up with that family, he would have talked like that. No, somehow he came out and he's a scholar and he can write for a paper and all this shit. Again, that makes no sense. God damn. I'm going to be all over the place here. Origin. Oh, we don't need another origin story. You said it here. We don't need to redo the Superman origin story every fucking time they reboot the first. No, we don't. But you know what? They did. They rebooted and then rewrote the origin story. His parents never sent him to rule the world. They sent him because they felt he could help the people of Earth. That is non-negotiable, and you don't write that in just as a plot device. Again, I will make my point on this, that this is one of the many times this movie does what I defend in Last Jedi. It's the light speed through the Super Star Destroyer.
Oh, the Hoult.
People hate that. People hate that. People hate that. But all of a sudden now, people all of a sudden now, though, are okay with this complete change for plot device. They're okay with the fact that we changed his parents to basically warmongers who sent an overpowered, which he isn't in this. He's not overpowering, but an overpowering superhero to the Earth to take over and put people under his rule. That has never been Superman. That was Zod. Yes, that wasn't it? Was that not? What you've done now is his dad, who in every iteration
every
iteration of Superman,
Smallville,
he teaches him, and he's there. And while he doesn't have his real father there, his real father is still a very big inspiration because his father talks to him. His father consoles him. His father teaches him about his own culture and other things.
Say one thing. They did do the parents like that once, and it was in Smallville. But then the big plot twist was Juror was only being harsh on him to teach him lessons because he wasn't there. But they did kind of dip their toes into the father not being exactly what he said he was. But even in that, he winds up becoming Superman.
Jor-El in Man of Steel is very much he does the same thing.
Batman.
No, because Batman's going to get fucked up too. I'm sorry. If this is where they're going to fuck that up too, because they're doing Batman and Robin is supposed to be one of the Wayans brothers, which again, that was done. They talked about doing that when, like, back when
I
Batman
fucking
Forever
hate
came
Damian
out.
Wayne.
But that's my point. How is that going to fucking work? And how is he going to be Boy Wonder? I'm sorry. Again, none of the shit I've heard makes sense. I was worried about this movie. I am now even more worried about it. When I was worried about the second one supposed to be Supergirl, and now I've seen Supergirl in half a second of this fucking movie, and I'm sitting there going, what the fuck are they going to do to that? Folks, you don't disrespect. You do not disrespect an origin story as bad as they disrespected it here. I did love the ending when they said, oh, he loves his parents' message to him. I didn't hate the ending where it turned out to be his Earth parents. That would have been fine too. But it was the complete reversal. I swore to God that was going to be something that Lex made up, and that would have been a better plot device. That would have been perfect because that would have been right down Lex's.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
That's what it should have been. That's what it should have been.
Let me piggyback for a second because you just sparked my mind on this. When I first saw this, and I know this has been another big talking point for people, and look, it is what it is. We're trying, look, I'm on Gunn's side, but here's the deal. He has this thing of trying to flip things, and for some things it works, but for this, it's a very delicate thing. And I thought where he was going with it was that Lex added that part on to doubt him, to kind of get him out of the way, because normally that's how Lex beats him. He doesn't beat, and we'll get to that when you start talking about it.
It would have been better had they had him there, and she's in it and going her in it, and she says, I'm sorry, there's nothing here. And he says, oh, there got to be something. Where's the rest of that message? And cut. Don't show anything else. Don't imply that he found the rest of the message, and then show it on the news. And then you come to find out that Clark's sitting there going Superman's sitting there going, oh God.
And you can take him out.
Everybody hates him. Everybody hates him. And then when he gets up there, when he gets up in there with Lex near the end, he says, the only reason why I faked that fucking video was to make the world hate you. That would have been perfect drop right there.
And
perfect
Lex's ego moment would have shown right there, where he's like,
and he would have said that.
Your parents.
He would have said that. He would have said, what do I have to do to get the world to hate you? I faked your parents' message so they would hate you. I did this, I did that, and yet they're still on your fucking side. They deserve to die. Something like that. The part again. You don't understand the character if you're going to write it this way. You just don't. And again, oh God. Okay. You said that the chemistry between Lois and Clark is great. I'm sorry. One of the most special parts.
I said good. I didn't say great. And
whatever.
I have my
I'm going
to
tell you that if their chemistry really came out in this movie at all, it was at the end, and even then, it didn't make much sense because. Well, I mean, obviously they do answer that Perry knows they're hooking up. Here's the thing. The worst part of this is the moment they should have really focused on that relationship, and they do, is when they have in the background the Justice Gang fighting this giant eyeball in the sky. That was unnecessary. Focus on the boyfriend-girlfriend, them admitting, when he says, what do you mean it wasn't going to work? Wait, no. Let me finish this.
Okay.
That was completely unnecessary. That's given the Justice Gang a moment in this movie where it didn't belong, didn't need to be there. And it's just like any moment I can put some cool little thing in the background. Background should not be involved, and the background takes away from the foreground.
So to piggyback off what you were going to say, that was my biggest issue, and I had this too because everybody on the panel that I was on last night, they were like, "Oh, the chemistry was good." Look, and when I say their chemistry is good, I mean the believability that these two actors are playing. I feel like the chemistry there between actor and actress, the initial thing. I feel there's a spark there. Now, once again, when we say with the bad, I had that same fucking issue because instead of focusing on that moment when he lifts her up and kisses her, and that should be a big dramatic thing, the fucking thing in the background, and this happened to me twice because I watched it again, your eyes get pulled away. And this is the issue because I know it happened to other people. Tell me, anybody remember what they said? What did they say?
I remember parts of it. He asks her, "What'd you mean when he said it wasn't at work?" and all this. And there's things going on. She then says, "I didn't say I believed that you were here to send the world or to take over the world." I know what she said, but here's the problem. In the middle of some good dialogue, she asks, "Are you helping them with that?" Like pointedly pointing out the background shit. Why?
That's my other thing too.
It makes no sense. Again,
and this is the
Superman movie. So wait, no, Superman movie. But wait, stop. Look at the people that aren't Superman. The other people here helping people.
Now, see here. Okay, so here's the thing that I do want to kind of push back on this thing. I don't think that necessarily James Gunn saw it as taking away from Superman. And just hear me out for a second.
That's his problem. He likes buddy group.
Let me finish.
That's the problem.
To your point, I think that in this particular instance, he needed somebody else to write it and maybe even just direct it, but he needed a different writer and a different person to kind of help him with it to keep him focused, because the whole thing that I feel is not that he's trying to not give Superman a moment, but he doesn't know how, because every time he just can't help himself to keep on cutting to different people and things like that. And like you said, he is doing it like he always does these movies, a big team up gang. We're all together. And look, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It works a lot. But you know where it doesn't work? It doesn't work with a Superman movie. And here's the funny part. He did that movie, Brightburn, which was evil super... Did fucking fantastic. That's one of my... I got that right now. I watched it the other night. Like, Brightburn is fucking excellent. Even flipping it and making it like a evil little Superman. That was so fucking good. And it's like, I know you can focus on one person because I've seen you do it. You made the movie. It was just like, it felt like he was trying to set up the Green Lanterns for the Lantern Corps. He's trying to set up Mr. Terrific. He's trying to set up Superman. He's trying not to overpower him, but he's not underpower him.
Here's another problem I have with this. And I had a problem kind of in the Snyderverse with this too. Kind of.
They did the same.
Well, no. I think they rushed too many characters in there. But
you remember the end of...
There's no need for part two because there wasn't supposed to be a part two. This isn't like the Justice League we're talking about with Zack Snyder, where everybody's going, well, I want to see what he would have done. Can't get that now. And I'm going to get into that.
I think they're going to have a Superman 2.
They're going to have a Superman 2, but I don't think it's part 2. I just think it's Superman. Wait, though. So a problem I have with this movie, I kind of have a problem with the way that the Snyderverse took care of it too, except the reasoning for it is because of Superman, so it still kind of counts. The Justice League, or Justice Gang in this case, the whole premise and the idea of the Justice League, or even anything beforehand, because Superman multiple times before the Justice League was formed mentioned wanting to do it. The Justice League was formed by Superman. They're acting like he had no say in this. So they're going to make up. And I already know. Wait. Stop.
Hawkman started it.
No.
He did. Hawkman started it because he's the longest living human being. He was the one who gathered everyone together, and Superman was the glue that got them all to stay. But Hawkman was the one who was originally sought out all of the members.
And actually, I looked it up, and it says Batman and the Flash are the original ones. But but here's the thing: Superman is the reason why it works.
They all come together, yeah.
And the thing is while it may be Hawkman's idea, one, we don't have Hawkman in this right now.
That's another thing.
I'm not even going that route because
Hawk Woman, let's just say it, Hawk Girl served no fucking purpose in this movie.
Not really.
That's like, and here's the thing: I like the actress. I like the charisma. Like, she has a good charisma to her. I like her take, but she got no fucking chance to shine. And she didn't get a chance to shine.
She shouldn't. None of them should have been in this movie. But I'm going to say this real quick. At least in the Snyderverse, Batman creates, and so what I just saw, Batman does create it. But he creates the Justice League because Superman's dead, and he wants to help and try to do what Superman was there to do. And he realizes after Superman died that he should have helped Superman rather than try to spend that hour and a half or whatever fighting him in that movie, whatever. And that's neither here nor there. But they treat it very like it's a joke. And you know what they're going to do? Later on, it's going to be Superman that suggests they call it the Justice League, and that's going to be the only thing he really has any say in. It's not going to be that he's the reason why everybody stays or whatever. But
we don't know. No, we're talking years down the road.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be that easy and stupid. All right, next thing. Let's talk about crypto.
Oh my God! This is going to be a hot take time.
I don't hate crypto per se, but crypto is always kind of I don't know. Crypto is always just there, even in the comics. I know he did more than just be there, but I just never felt like that was necessary. Though it's pretty close to an original idea in the whole Superman mythos. I'll give it that. More often than not, he is Superman's dog, but there are instances where other in the super family have crypto. I don't agree with making him Supergirls in this, but okay, whatever.
Because it's just like that was supposed to. Okay,
it could happen, but it doesn't feel right. Oh wait, I got a hotter take than all of that.
No, just
go ahead
because you mentioned Supergirl. Let me finish this thought. Mm-hmm. I hated that the overall big gag. They play it like a big reveal is that it's her dog, and I'm like. So this whole time, that's the joke. Oh, it doesn't listen to him because it's fucking her dog. Like, it felt like such a like.
What difference does it make who the dog belongs to?
Like, yeah.
I'm going to give you your answer right now. Doesn't matter who it belongs to. Here's the problem with crypto in this movie. Why is crypto there? So at the very end, the main bad guy that could beat Superman, his clone, it's Crypto that has to come and save Superman. That's the only reason why Crypto's in this movie. No other reason. So he can whistle again like he did in the first 5 minutes of this movie and get him to come. And that is the only reason Crypto was put in this fucking movie. That and comic relief. And it makes no sense. Give the dog a purpose other than that. Because here's the thing. If Superman can't beat a villain without Crypto or without Hawk Girl or without the Green Lantern Corps or without Mr. Terrific, then he's not Superman. Superman has lost battles. Don't get me wrong, but he lost every battle in this if he was by himself. Again, this is not a Superman movie. Crypto is a plot device. Again, he is the light speed through the fucking cruiser.
Yep.
There's no other reason for Crypto in this movie other than comic relief, and so he can save Superman's ass at the end. Whose dog is it? Does that matter? Fuck no. But he shouldn't have been in this fucking movie because he's only a fucking plot device. And because everybody wants to make this, oh, look, DC's rebooted. It looks so cool. It looks like Superman should look, blah, 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 blah. They're going to look past plot device problems now. Yet people chastise me for liking The Last Jedi because of a plot device problem. Same fucking shit, but we're going to put our rose-colored glasses on and drink a lot of beer and act like it didn't fucking happen. This movie is ridiculously stupid with its plot devices. instead of one plot device in the whole fucking movie of The Last Jedi, which is basically we can't get away from them.
Let's not go there. There's several fucking
stop. No, there isn't. The main plot device. I mean, the Canto Bite scenes are horrible, and the whole idea for that side mission is horrible. That's not a plot device. That's just giving characters that really weren't fleshed out too well a place to go. The only plot device in that is the Rebel fleet can't get away. How are we going to do it? Well, fucking.
Oh, hey, Christine. Good to see you.
Hey, put a ship through their main cruiser. Oh, okay. How do we do that? Oh, give this general, the general taking over for Leia, give her this heroic scene where she flies through it at light speed. Okay, that sounds good. That's a plot device. That is the biggest plot device in the world. That's the only reason they put it in there. It doesn't bother me. Because, again, I understand plot devices. But what bothers me about a plot device is you're saying in this movie, Superman can't beat a villain by himself. And here's the other thing. When he does finally beat his clone, they're just as close, if not closer, to that fucking black hole. And for some reason, after the guy gets sucked through it, that black hole's still there, but Superman's just lying down, and it's not even trying to pull him in. You're just as close as you were earlier in the movie. Now your physics of this black hole completely changed. By the way, because it's in a pocket dimension, once the time rip happens, once the time rip starts, that black hole is exposed to the Earth. It would have gone done. But they don't acknowledge their own plot or their own physics in this movie. They change everything when it needs to be changed and totally look past whatever. And then let's go down the time rip thing. All of a sudden, this is the slowest fucking black hole time rip gravity pull in the world that it takes long enough for them to sit there. It takes long enough for them to sit there for Mr. Terrific to be in his little fake chair. Hey, how far away are you? It's like it takes forever for that time rip to happen. The bus falling into the crevice knocked Ultraman. Yeah, but they were still as close as they were when they were in the antimatter stream, which, by the way, Mr. Terrific said anything that touches it's going to be consumed. Well, all of a sudden we got Superman. We got what's it, the guy with that can do the material, any material.
Metallo or Meadow something. Meadow.
I'll look here. Hold on. I'm trying to keep my.
I for Meadow, whatever the fuck his name was.
Yeah, I'm looking at Metamorpho. That's right.
Yeah, Metamorpho. I always
Metamorpho's there.
I want to just say Metamorpho was a pretty decent character.
That was cool. No, I like that. That's fine.
Yeah,
okay.
Metamorpho.
But here's the thing: when you're in the antimatter that Mr. Terrific has already established will rip apart anything that goes into it. Here they're in this river and nothing's happening to Superman. This should have at least tried to pull him apart. And then his super breath or whatever you want to call it, that blows things cool or whatever. Are you trying to say that he's powerful enough to use his breath and it can get him out of the black hole, but he can't blow on somebody and throw him across the fucking world? He doesn't do that at any other point. And yet you've just established in physics, his breath is enough to pull him and several other people out of a fucking black hole. Wait a minute here. Hold on. Yet he can get his ass beat by everybody else here. Wait, how does any of this make sense? It doesn't. And then
the other thing too, just to bounce off of what you said, I also noticed that I hate the excuse.
No, they were not. The Raptors were not swimming in it.
Also, I hate this excuse where people are trying to say this is year one Superman. This isn't Batman, folks. I want to say a quote that was in one of my favorite shows, Smallville, where he says, Jor-El's in the cave talking to Tom Welling, great Superman, by the way, or Clark, and he says, unlike most humans, he goes, you're going to wear a disguise to pretend to be one of them, but you'll never be one of them. You're always going to have your powers. You're always going to have your strengths. And this is the burden you must bear. Mm-hmm. Folks, this whole bullshit about it being he's a younger super and inexperienced, It doesn't change his power level.
No.
He's still as strong then as he is now. Now he's not as experienced.
Okay.
But he's still the same power level.
Let me piggyback off of that. Experience, fine. I didn't have a problem with Ultraman being able to match all of his moves because they explained that. They explained that very well.
Well, yes.
That Lex had studied 200 or 2,400 moves of Superman's. Perfect. Because if he's young and he hasn't learned everything yet, he's going to do the same stuff over and over again.
Yes.
And that made sense. I liked that explanation. But again, that doesn't mean he's not more powerful. Now, making Ultraman, but here's the thing, making Ultraman his clone, smart move, but you know where it's stupid? I'm sorry, that was the plot of Superman 4, because whatever his name was.
Well,
that was supposed to. No, wait. Time out.
Is different than.
Yeah, no. Wait. The original plot of Superman 4 was the nuclear peace stuff, but the bad guy was supposed to be a direct clone. He kind of is in it, but he's not. But it was supposed to be a direct clone of Superman, and they were actually going to have Reeve play him also. And they again, that movie was a colossal fucked up mess, so it doesn't really matter what they wanted to do. I'm just pointing, you're using a plot device that they already have talked about using, and it's been done. Now, don't get me wrong, this has been something we've seen in the comics and other things like that, Bizarro, other things, fine, dandy, whatever. I've seen it 6 times. They're not there. They're fighting Metamorpho and stuff, and there is one scene where the raptor's flying and shooting, but he doesn't. When he lands in, he's dead. And okay, let's go back to people having problems with things in other movies. Let's go back to Man of Steel. Oh God, Superman wouldn't have killed General Zod. What are you talking about? He kills like 100 raptors
I hate that end. Only because
it's like, okay, so it's okay, but again, it's okay now, but it wasn't okay then. I'm sorry. Give me a break.
See you,
bye, Christine. Sorry.
Thanks for.
So, and it doesn't really matter. My point about the river thing is, I don't really care about the river. That wasn't my main problem. My main problem is you establish that he's strong enough to use his breath in the fucking black hole pole, and yet he doesn't think, oh, I'm just going to blow on you and knock you fucking on the other side of this fucking world. That's a problem to me, is that the power numbers don't count when they need to count. And yet when you have to use it again, plot device. Look, his super breath can blow him out of this black hole, but he'll never use it against another thing that he's fighting because that's too strong. The kaiju in this movie, great. I loved it. Totally pointless. Didn't need to happen. There was no point to that. No point except for fluff that James Gunn put in there, and to give him interaction with the super gang or the justice gang. The fucking idiot monkeys being his bots to chat against Superman online.
So
that was stupid.
Like,
I'm sorry.
Okay, so
you could have had his people in the tower doing that for him, and it would have made more sense because they're people. No, and he puts all these monkeys in a pocket dimension to talk shit on Superman.
Like, okay, so am I missing something? Because I'm a big DC Comics reader. You know, I got my Batman book. Hold on, let me show you. I just like showing off nerd shit when I can. The Ultimate Batman guy. Anyways, yeah. So, and I got Superman Returns and all of that, but. What is the thing? Is that supposed to be an Easter egg? I did not. That to me came out of left field. And I'm glad you brought it up because I was like, what the fuck does this have to? Because it's not hinted to. I don't was it a gag? Is it an Easter egg? Is it in the universe? Because that too is just such a fucking random scene. And I just chalked it up as James Gunn being James Gunn because I've never fucking even. Like, is it an old comic book story? I don't know where that was pulled from. It's so random. It makes no sense. And like you said, why does he have a bunch of like is the joke supposed to be trained monkeys are more efficient than the people he has, or that all of the people around him are trained monkeys? Like, that annoyed the shit out of me because I'm like, I don't get it.
And that's what I
don't
thought.
Get what the joke is.
What it says online that it's supposed to, that they believe that it's James Gunn's poking at Snyder people as being bots or people trolling online.
Well, you know
sorry,
what?
If this is your meta joke, I'm sorry. That's pointless.
No, I'll take that because, man, the Snyder fans are terrible.
That's fine. That's fine. But you know what? What's funny is every which way he says, I'm not worried about him. Obviously, you were. You put him in your fucking movie.
Well,
don't lie to me. You're worried about what they were going to do. Fuck that. Don't even give them any attention. I didn't hate the pocket dimension. I didn't hate the idea that he puts people there for them to forget about him. That was okay. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, the engineer that they kill. Wait, time out. You give him 5 seconds early on during the fight, or he falls down into the ground and he helps him up. He's like, I gotta go help Superman, and he helps him up. That's the only interaction he has up until that point, really. And yet, for some reason, at that moment, Lex makes it sound like he's an important figure, but we don't know why. And we don't find out why, really, until the point where he gets killed, where we find out he gave Superman food at one point. And it's like, how does this make him an important character that ties him? Listen, at this point, you would pick up Lois Lane. Lex did it 1 billion times. Bad guys did it 1 billion times because she has a connection. More often than not, it's just because they know that she interviews, and she always gets the interview with Superman. Giving it to Clark in this made no sense because, like she said, oh, so you're giving yourself fake interviews, and yet you already know the answer to your questions. I mean, great, funny moment, whatever. But it's always, you're building a situation where as soon as he went to Metropolis and he got a job at the Daily Planet, he was looking after Lois Lane. And then he, if I remember right in the comics, it's been a long time, I had to double check this. I believe he's the one that says, you know, Miss Lane, why don't you interview me? And that way people will know who I am. Yes, I know that, but that wasn't the point of it. He says when he gets shot, he gave me food one time. And that is why he pulls him out of the craters, because he knows him. But they don't really... why would you pick that guy? Now, granted, one of the best moments of this movie, and pretty funny, was when the second shot kills him. It's like, I thought that would take longer. That's a Lex thing. He was hoping for... I wanted to put him through some shit. And then the fact is, how long does it take him to go fucking get Lois Lane to bring him or to do the same thing? The timing, pacing of him trying to say he's going to come back, that didn't work out. The Metamorpho giving him the sun thing, I kind of thought that was a cool scene. Again, you start going down the line, you're like, okay, I'm digging it, and then they throw something, and you're like, whoa, what? It's like it was 2 steps. It was 1 step forward, 2 steps back, and you're just constantly not going anywhere in this movie. It's good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, and again, there's no pacing. Now, last, and because I do have to go. I'm sorry, because it's almost midnight here. I think it's midnight.
Yeah, it does.
I got to get this. I just got to get this out here. We're getting rid of the DCEU. It doesn't exist anymore. They sabotaged movies, and I'm not going to say it was fully sabotaged by Warner Brothers, but Warner Brothers had made it very apparent before The Flash and before the second Aquaman came out.
Yeah.
So nobody cared. I'm not saying that's the only reason why they didn't do good in the money or in the theaters, but that's a big reason, because by that time people were like, okay, fine, if these characters aren't going to move forward, I don't give a fuck. Because there was a time, and you remember when that Warner Brothers wanted him to keep some of them. They wanted him to keep Gal Gadot. They wanted him to keep Jason Momoa. They talked about keeping Flash, whatever his name is,
Ezra Miller. Thank God.
Ezra Miller. They talked about it, and then James Gunn's like, no, I want to reboot it. Except I don't want to reboot it when it comes down to Peacekeeper. I want Peacekeeper to cross over. And,
I agree.
And also,
with that,
wait. And also, we know that Harley Quinn is going to cross over. Now, people told me, they're like, oh, but in the new season of Peacemaker, they're going to explain that he comes through in the pocket dimension. Great. Release it first so it makes fucking sense in this. Not that I agree that he should be there, because he shouldn't. You know why he's there? Because he's James Gunn's. That's the only reason why he's there. Because James Gunn is like, oh, but I'm going to keep this one.
No, I think portion. John Cena is there because John Cena did an exceptional job. And I'm not a big John Cena
He's
fan.
DCEU. He's a part of the other group of movies, and you're just bringing him over because he's
kind of in that holdover period. They could have. I disagree with that. I think that Peacekeeper. Hold on a second. It's unfortunate you guys didn't. Look. You know what, JJ? Thank you.
No, actually, I went to see if I was the only one thinking this. I found 10 articles today that agree with everything I'm saying.
But look, JJ, I appreciate.
Not because I put it in that way.
I want to just tell you,
Peacemaker, Peacekeeper, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, here in the Phantom Zone, we appreciate feedback. So thank you.
Yeah,
and feel free to come back because
you're absolutely right.
I wish I was with you on this. Honestly, we both want to be with you, JJ. We didn't want to be negative. You could ask Chris, go check my other streams. I was hyped up. This was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. So I don't want to be here and have these issues. And it could just be me as a writer and somebody who is into... and I've seen great things. Like I saw an excellent season of The Sandman. I seen so many great things that when I go to see something I'm anticipating, and maybe it's me putting it up on a level, but I expect good quality. And if it's not there, I'm not going to be like a Marvel fan and try to make up fucking excuses for why these movies fucking suck. I'm going to bite the bullet and tell you, I want it to be good. I still hope it does well. I'm not even being like, oh, fuck this. I hope it. No, I hope this does good. I hope that they take the criticisms that we have. And I know James Gunn reads it all and he listens to the videos. I hope that he takes these criticisms and he just scales back some things and tools some things up and tightens up the story.
The Guardian and Forbes. Here's their main headlines. Superman review. James Gunn reboot is painfully mediocre. Super generic plot. Superman review. Is it a bust? Is it a pain? James Gunn's dim reboot is both. And these are top stories. This isn't. And it's Variety. It's Forbes. It's the Guardian.
I don't go by them though.
No. I'm just saying. But here's the thing. I don't go by it. I go watch it. When I watch it and then I'm seeing the same problems, I'm agreeing. This is dim. This is stupidly planned. Could it have been fixed with a different writer? Perhaps. But you're putting too much shit into it. Again, Mr. Terrific is awesome in this. Awesome. But
that Mr. Terrific scene was like a highlight.
You gave him the biggest scene in this fucking movie. And then here's the thing. I swear to God that when it came down to it, and again, he would have had time because it was the slowest fucking time rip in the fucking world. I was pretty sure Superman was going to go and help the people. But no, he didn't. The Justice Gang shows up. It's like, again, what's the point of this? Why are you giving him this? And then again, the funny thing where the green hands coming up and doing this and and shit like that. Fun. I liked it. Funny, great, but pointless. It's like you're writing so much into this movie that didn't need to be there. All I wanted was a Superman movie, not a group pair. And again, I told you even before I watched this, when I saw the Crypto thing, I'm sitting there going like, I don't like how he is, because Crypto's just a funny thing where he's jumping on him when he's hurt at the beginning. And now I know why that's the part that they released, because, well, it's the beginning. It's like, fuck, okay, so we all got a 5-minute preview of the beginning of this movie. and then the only reason why Krypto's there is so he can come and knock Ultraman out of the way, because now with Krypto there, Lex doesn't know what Superman's going to do, because Krypto's going to eat all the little things. And they tried to foreshadow that with him eating the ball in the pocket dimension.
Yep.
But now, again, the only reason why Krypto's there is to save Superman's ass. What's the fucking point? I love this scene at the end where he says, I like the scene where his dad tells him, listen, it doesn't matter about what your parents said. It matters what the things you do. Great scene that would have been Clark. Or not Clark. What's his dad's name?
Jonathan Kent.
John, thank you. That would have been something John said, and that was a very good moment. I love that. It's just unfortunate that you put it in a place that's only there because you rewrote his fucking origin story. Again, every good side has a stupid why. Why is this necessary? He could have done that without the process being. He could have been. It could have been this the way I told you. They faked the message, and then at the end, he finds out it is fake, so he feels better. He's like, great, my parents. But then he could have said, you know what, my mother and father here on Earth were more my mother and father because they're the ones that raised me. You could have still played. You could have still played the ending, which is great.
The exact
same. I love that. It's just little tweaks that could have changed. If the Justice Gang had been here for only one moment, you take the kaiju out of it. You take.
I would have even taken the
eye out of it
for some of the pocket dimension fight. I think that would have been a good point.
Well, Mr. Terrific going there after he's caught, great.
Yeah,
he still got out on his own. He still got out of the problem himself. Working with Metamorpho. I mean, granted, Metamorpho is the one that did it, or Metamorphos, whatever his name is. He's the one that helped him, but that's okay. I didn't hate that because he's also the one that put him there with the kryptonite, whatever.
Yeah.
But then he says, "You can help me. You say you can save my son," and he does it. So perfect. That worked fine. But what doesn't work fine is that you could have had Mr. Terrific there, because you could have had a quick scene where the Justice Gang is talked about when Lex Luthor's trying to sell it, where it could have been a news article or a news thing on the news, because they have plenty of news breaks here where it says, rumor has it the LexCorp has the Earth Defenders or whatever the fuck it was called, and he's trying to get the U.S. government to buy into it to protect us from the metahumans that are sponsored by X Corporation, and then show them really quick on the screen. Great, we've introduced these characters. So when Superman disappears, Lois still could have gone to the Hall of Justice, gone in and talked to Mr. Terrific and Mr. Terrific only. That would have been fine. And then Mr. Terrific helps break them out. Okay, great. That's fine. That would have been fine. But now what you've done is you've basically shown something I thought was stupid, which is superheroes lounging. Yeah. Superheroes have never been shown just kicking back, going like, hey, it's another day. Blah, 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 blah. That was so stupid. The hypnoglasses. We know that he has hypnoglasses. We know that is something that enhances the vision things he can do. That does block people from knowing who he is. But we didn't need that. That show, don't tell, or don't tell and don't show, because we didn't need to know. That doesn't matter why people know, because you've already established the only person who doesn't need to know is Lois. But this is already past that because she knows, because they're dating. Fine. We don't need any of that stupid shit. And then you have this guy just randomly telling, and like she says, you just told me that he's Clark Kent. How do you know I knew that? These are so stupid. Hey, Sherry.
Hey, Sherry. Good to see you. Yeah.
It's like everything about that. It's like you didn't have to have him and all that, because then you could have written out the kaiju, could have written out the eye scene. And Mr. Terrific scene still could have stayed the exact same, and it would have been awesome.
I think, okay, so for me, I heard there were a couple cut scenes, like fucking Krypto getting hit because it offended all these people. That was cut. Instead of cutting stupid shit like that to appease people, I think these, like, even if you did these small little cuts, is what we're saying, it would have tightened up this film a bit more. And that's what we're saying, folks. And to be honest with you, and people ask me, they were like, because I was grilled, and they go, so what is your rating for this? And I'm going to be honest with you. This pains me to say. I'm going to be real. This is a 6 for me. And I'm being on the high end of that.
So when I saw this 2.5 months ago at the special screening, the whatever you call it, pre-screening, test audience, whatever.
This is on with Black Panther. Sad day.
I went because they handed us a sheet and we sat there at a desk and wrote our things about it. My biggest thing was I hope you're going to tighten this up. I said, this is a lot of extra shit that doesn't need to be there. And I think I said it exactly like that. I didn't give examples. Maybe I should have. I don't think they would have listened. But I gave it a 5.5 out of 10.
So I went a half a point more, and I think
wait. When I went to see it in the end, you know what? I give this about a 6.57. I didn't hate it. I just think it's convoluted, and there's a lot of things I don't like. I'm being kind to it, though, because there's a lot of things could have been. I blame the writing and some other things, but the biggest thing here is that this movie doesn't treat Superman any better than any other movie. This is probably my fifth favorite.
I miss these. I hope you're tightening this up.
Sew it up a little bit, because after pregnancy and after a kid pops out, you got to sew it up.
Oh my god. Okay, and this is a great point for us to start wrapping this up.
But wait, I'm going to just say this. I think the biggest issues with this is going to be my So I'd say it goes Superman, Man of Steel, Superman Returns, Superman 2, and then this. It's my fifth favorite Superman movie, and that's actually saying a lot for the fact that it's not really even a Superman movie. I am not hopeful. Again, this is not how you reboot. It's just you put all your eggs in this basket, and yet it isn't even really a Superman movie. Superman has to be saved by a dog. Superman has to be saved by not necessarily Mr. Terrific, because he would have gotten out on his own, working with somebody, which I'm okay with. But the fact that it's like everything about it is just, I don't know. I am afraid that next weekend you're going to see a fall in its numbers. And I'd say by week 3, it's going to be done. And I was going to tell you, I didn't think that the Fantastic Four would knock this out, but the recent trailers, and I did see a sneak peek of that, or that was about all but the last 20 minutes they said of that movie. It's not bad, and it's probably one of the best, if not the best, Fantastic Four movie of all of them. And I don't know what that says, because the first 2 or the first 3, were
Nah.
But the thing about it is that I actually think it's not going to be exactly what we thought, and I think it's going to be better than people expected. And I'd almost say, when does that come out? The 24th in 2 weeks or something like that?
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's going to knock this out. I think Jurassic Park is going to still be number 1 next week and this week. I think next week we're going to see Superman fall and probably maybe cross the 2. Where is it at right now? Hold on, let me look at this. It's at 217. I think maybe next week it makes it to 350. And I think by the week after that, Fantastic Four will push it down even further. I think Jurassic Park Rebirth starts first next week too. This is probably still going to be number 2. And then, I think
right now, number 1 in the box office actually is Superman. After, as of 12 hours ago, finished number 1 in the box office with 122 million. So we'll see if it holds that. I don't think Jurassic Park's going to be a factor, to be quite honest with you. I think it's had its run. It's made its money. We'll get another fucking Jurassic Park.
So it made another 170 million this week, or 100. Okay, it's reached 322 million in week 2. It started at 147, so that's basically 170 million. Yeah. So that means that worldwide it didn't, but domestically it might have. I don't know. Again, the fact that it didn't beat it by a long shot is telling.
I mean,
I'm telling you right now.
I think I'm going to disagree. Just to end on me feeling positive, I think this is going to surprise people. I think this has got legs. Now, the big test for me is going to be Fantastic Four. Like, if Fantastic Four comes out and just fucking destroys it, then they're going to have issues, because it's got to have legs to make the target. And that means it's going to have to outdo, which means people are going to have to see Fantastic Four, because, everybody's going to go and see that. They're going to have to think it sucks, which I'm going to be honest with you, judging from what I've seen, and I tell everybody this, I don't give a shit about the politics. I'm going off of previews I've seen. I don't give a fuck what Pedro Pascal has said, because everybody says dumb shit. It's the world we live in. I'm going off of what I see. And what I see for the previews and everything they've previewed us, it looks good. And this is me I want Superman to beat it. I do. But I'm saying, like, when I'm looking at this compared to that,
I'm going to tell you something.
I think this is going to be a tough battle.
So everybody was talking about Thunderbolts.
I thought that was good.
Away. Wait, no, wait. I did too. But everybody's talking about giving away the ending of Fantastic Four. Here's the thing. They'd already told us that the universe that Fantastic Four is in currently isn't going to live. Yeah. It's going to get destroyed by Galactus. They're going to come to the MCU dimension here. 616, whatever it is. I don't know. Anyways.
Which God, stop doing that.
Yeah, well, okay, it's fine, whatever. I don't care. They're just trying to explain that it's been a Fox property, and now we're bringing it over to our property. It's their own little thing, much like the stupid monkeys are James Gunn's, whatever. People are all up in arms about a female Silver Surfer. There is a female Silver Surfer. If you're going to kill that dimension, it doesn't fucking matter. Robert Downey Jr. is supposed to have a moment in this. I didn't see it, so if it happens, it's going to be the last 20 minutes, or they put it in and held it out. I don't know. Again, they tell us flat out that what we see is one of like 6 different versions they're working with. Again, that was 4 months ago, actually, that I saw the test screening of it. And we were told... Dude,
if they show Robert Downey Jr., that's going to be unfair, because
what they did is they told us... What they told us was there were 6 working versions. But I've heard that Robert Downey Jr. is supposed to be in the last part of this, because he follows them into this dimension, which makes it why we get all the other stuff.
That leads into the Avengers.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's the thing. If in the first week, first few days, if we hear Robert Downey Jr.'s in this one for sure, everybody's going to flock to see it. Kind of like the only thing that saved Black Adam and even made it any money was everybody wanted to see Henry Cavill. But when people figured out you can go to YouTube and somebody had the cell phone footage of the Henry Cavill scene, everybody just went there. Well, I'm not sure you're going to get the scene you want to see, because Marvel is pretty quick to take down anything that you put up there. So if somebody has a cell phone footage, 2 weeks after Black Adam came out, I was still finding the Henry Cavill scene. So whatever. It's going. Here's the thing. I don't think they hit it out of the park. I don't think this is how you reboot a movie franchise that they're talking about doing. I think there was way too much interference. The wrong person, not necessarily helmed it, but I'm not sure if he would have understood how to handle just one character as the main character, because obviously he didn't. And he wrote this. Wrong person wrote it. Here's the thing. If this was supposed to save the DC
universe in movies, you're fucked, because they've already fucking killed what Supergirl is, and Supergirl is supposed to be your next movie. Again, if it doesn't hit, I told people, I said, I'm worried that this isn't going to do what it needs to do to give it a push. I don't think it did.
Hey, you know what? I still
have
got
multiplied.
I still got the Clayface to look forward to, because that's done by Matt Reeves. And,
yeah, but that's the thing.
And Batman 2 is definitely greenlit and happening. Like it's
hopefully they don't do what they did with Joker. I have not watched that a second time yet. It's Joker 2.
I will die on that hill. I don't care. I am dying on that hill that I love that movie. That's my Last Jedi.
I'm a Last Jedi thing. I'm going to go back and watch it again. I mean, I've been in the right mood to watch it when it happened. I have to be in a good,
like me.
Like, it took me a year. It took me a year to watch
movie.
Joker. It took me a year to watch Joker, and when I saw it, I was like, wow, that's awesome. I might go back and figure this out. I mean, I understand it's really one of those things. It's a meta joke in its own self, but that's fine. We'll talk about that at a later time. I got to go.
Yeah, let's just wrap it up. Thank you, everybody. We had 10 people watching at a point. And I want to thank Cherry. I definitely wanted to thank JJ for coming in. He looked new and challenging us. Feel free to come in and challenge us, folks. And JJ, thank you. Ryan, who I haven't recognized from here, thank you. The view with Drew. All you guys who came in, and I appreciate your views. And this is how reviews should be done. We're not going to agree with you all the time. You're not going to agree with us, but let's fucking talk about it.
Does it not tell you something that I call this about a 7, and I'm still trashing it?
I was at a 6.
I know. My
point is, you gave it a point higher.
I'm trying to tell you, there's a lot of things in this movie I was happy with, but with everything, there was something that is bad.
Okay, for me, an average movie is 5, so a 6. I put it a slightly above average, but 7, 8, 9 are really good movies. Like for me, this might be
7.1 and up is really so. This is
I like Doom, and that's definitely better. A 5. Yeah, that's my guilty pleasure movie.
This is above better than average, but not by much. So
yeah.
Listen, you change some of this stuff, it would have been great. But I got to go.
All right, so thank you, Chris, for coming on to the show. I appreciate you. Get going. I'll wrap this up. But
if you guys want to check out some more about my thoughts, there'll be 2 other people talking with me tomorrow on Chaos Central. It's look up Chaos Central. It's with a K.
And his links for his channels are in the description, so you could definitely can check that out. Hit those links.
I put it in there. I don't know if it's going to show up. If it does, yeah, great. But I got to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And everybody, thank you for watching tonight. I really appreciate you. I had a great time having this discussion. And thank you for everybody who put in your thoughts and comments. I really appreciate it. And here in the Phantom Zone, just so you guys know, I believe really strongly in having discussions about movies. And that even if I don't, some people and some reviews I do, people agree with me. This one is a highly divisive one. But I'm glad if you got good entertainment out of it. I appreciate it. I'm just telling from my perspective that I didn't think that it was going to, I might have hyped things up a little bit, whatever. And once again, this is a movie I'll probably watch again that I will definitely support because I do see potential. I see potential in this universe. I've been a lifelong DCU fan, and I think I remain very much dedicated because I don't think we've seen the full vision. Now, if I get a couple of movies and I don't like the vision, then it is what it is. But, you know, like a sports team, I don't give up on my team. So I'm still hoping that they just tweak the formula a bit because I do see a lot of potential at the end of the day. I think there's a lot of potential, and I think that this does have the right stuff. They just need to tweak the formula slightly. And I think we're seeing the DCU in its infant stage, is much like Marvel in their infant stage. I mean, nobody thought Iron Man was going to be great and lead into Iron Man 2, and we got all of those, and even those have been debated. Some people don't like Iron Man 2. I love it. That's what I mean. Like, I think we need to give James a chance to hit his stride. I still think he's the man for the job. I think he embodies the spirit of somebody I want to shepherd these properties. I just think he needs to assign other people who might have more strengths than he does with some of these characters. Not everybody can write everything. That's the end of the day. Some people just can't write a good Superman movie. Some people fucking write a terrible Batman movie. I mean, come on. Batman, what was it? Not Begins, Forever. The one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That Batman and Robin. Oh, God. That movie is fucking terrible. And Joel Silver did the other one. So, I mean, not everybody can write a character. Okay? But I don't say throw in the towel. This sucks. It's doom and gloom. Fucking abandoned ship. It's all over. No, I say this was good, but it wasn't great. And I want great because I've been a DC fan for so many years, and all we get is kind of good here, great movie, fucking horrendous, great movie, good movie, fucking horrendous. I just want good movies. Like, consistently fucking good movies. And I think there's potential here. I really do. They just need to tighten some shit up. Oh yeah, hashtag bat nipples. God. Just don't ever bring back the bat nipples. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hit that like, share, subscribe. I will have other reviews coming out. Pretty soon I'm going to be doing the Sandman Part 1 review for Season 2. Excellent show. Definitely check it out. My short review. And I'll be doing Part 2 of Season 2 fairly soon. And I also have a couple of other reviews coming up. I know I'm late to the party, but I'm going to be doing my 28 days later. Or 28 years later. I've been sitting on this one for a while to think about my feelings. And a couple of other different horror movies and stuff that I've been watching. Also, I am starting to construct my top 10 best movies of the year and worst movies of the year. So far, I got some locked in a good position. But we still got many movies to go. And my shows list is fucking nuts. So I'm going to have a bunch of different shows that I'll be working on. Right now, you can check out my retrospective review on Penny Dreadful. Right now, I'm on season 1 and I'm doing episode breakdowns. They're taking a little longer because CBS fucking sucks and they keep on hitting me with strikes. And I got to edit down my videos. So I'm going to try to work around their DMC claims. But other than that, thank you everybody for watching. Hit that like, share, subscribe, all the YouTube things. You all are beautiful. And as always, remember, there is only one rule here in the fandom zone. Kneel before General Zod.